Good morning, students. In the last class, we were discussing about ideal gas equation, right? So let us revise what we discussed in the last class. So we discussed Avogadro's law, right? So what do you mean by Avogadro's law? So Avogadro's law means at constant temperature and pressure. So pressure and temperature being constant, equal volumes of all gases will contain equal number of moles. So if moles are equal, then molecules also will be equal. That is called as Avogadro's law. V is directly proportional to N. So if number of moles are equal, volumes also will be equal. If number of moles are more, volume of that gas will be more. And we have seen problems also based on it. Right? So by combining all these gas laws, so we have derived an ideal gas equation. So what is the ideal gas equation? Ideal gas equation is PV is equal to nRT. Ideal gas equation is PV is equal to nRT. This is for n moles of gas. This is for n moles of gas. Then for 1 mole of gas, n value will be equal to 1. Then the equation becomes PV is equal to RT. This is for 1 mole. This is for 1 mole of gas. PV is equal to RT. Where P is pressure, V is volume, R is universal gas constant, T is absolute temperature. Always must be in Kelvin. Okay, right? Then R is a constant. So PV will be directly proportional to T. So PV by T must be a constant K. So when all the three are varying, pressure, volume and temperature, so we can use the formula P1 V1 by T1 is equal to P2 V2 by T2. This is the formula we use when all the three are varying, when pressure, volume and temperature are varying. This is called as equation of state. This is called as equation of state. Okay, right? And we have seen the different values of R in the last class, right? So what are the different values of R? So based on the pressure and volume units, we need to use the value of R accordingly, right? So what are the different values of R, students? One is 0.0821. You need to remember these R values. Sometimes they won't give you an exam, right? So R value is 0.081. Liter, atmosphere, mole inverse, Kelvin inverse. So when pressure is given in bars, 0.0831 liter, bar, mole inverse, Kelvin inverse. Next one is 8.314 joule, mole inverse, Kelvin inverse when pressure is given in Newton meter square. Then we can convert this into CGS units in terms of Earth. 8.314 into 10 power 7 Earth, mole inverse, Kelvin inverse, which is again equal to 1.987 calorie, mole inverse, Kelvin inverse. So we can convert joules to Earth as well as calories because we know the relation. 1 calorie is equal to 4.18 joules. Okay, so these are all the values of R, students, right? So this you need to remember. Okay, so let us solve some problems. Then we'll go for further derivation of ideal gas in terms of density also, right? Let us solve some problems. So write down the question. Calculate the temperature. Calculate the temperature at which 28 grams of nitrogen will occupy a volume of 10 liters at 2.46 atmospheres. Solve this problem. Can you answer? Let this be bars. 2.46 bars. Two 88.8 Kelvin. Any other answers? 296. 296. Let us see. Right. So by using the equation PV is equal to nRT. So pressure given is 2.46 bars into volume given is 10 liters, which is equal to number of moles. Mass is 28. Molar mass of nitrogen is also 28. Molar mass of nitrogen is also 28. Right. Into the value of R. Here pressure is given in bars. So the value of R you need to use is 0.0831. Pressure of bar pressure is given in bars. Value of R you need to use is 0.0831 into temperature you need to calculate. So these two get cancelled out. So T value will be equal to 2.46 into 10 by 0.0831. So this you need to simplify. Right. So what will be this value? 296.02 Kelvin. 296.02 Kelvin will be the answer. Okay. Right. Completed? Next question. Next question. At 25 degrees centigrade and 760 mm of Hg pressure, 760 mm of Hg pressure, a gas occupies 600 ml volume. What will be its pressure? What will be its pressure at a height where temperature is 10 degrees centigrade and volume of gas is 640 ml. Volume of gas is 640 ml. Solve and give the answer. Write down the question, students. I will explain. Next problem you can solve. Complete writing the question. Complete writing the question, yes. First thing, listen how to solve this problem. See, when temperature is 25 degrees, pressure is 760 mm and the volume is 600. What will be its pressure when the temperature is 10 degrees centigrade and volume is 640 mm? So you can see there are two different pressures, two different volumes and two different temperatures. That means all the three parameters are varying. So when all the three parameters are varying, you need to use the formula P1 V1 by T1 is equal to P2 V2 by T2, equation of state. Okay, right? So let us write the values of P1 V1 T1, P2 V2 T2. Temperature T1 is 25 degrees centigrade. Always you need to convert it into Kelvin. So 25 plus 273 is 298 Kelvin. P1 is 298. What is the P1 pressure? P1 is 760 mm. Now see here, students. Let me write the information. V1 is 600 ml. T2, they have given is 10 degrees centigrade. So 10 degrees centigrade plus 273 is 283 Kelvin. T2 283 Kelvin. Pressure we need to calculate. Volume is 640 ml. Now here one point you need to be very careful. That is, temperature always must be in Kelvin. These two pressures must be in the same units. Whether you take in mm or you take in ATM, you take in Newton per meter square, anyhow you take. Both the pressures must be in the same units. In the same way, both the volumes. If this is in ml, this also must be in ml. If this is in liters, this also must be in liters. You can do it in any way. Right? So now we can solve this problem by using P1 V1 by T1 is equal to P2 V2 by T2. In which units I'll get pressure? In which units I'll get P2 value, students? Because this is in mm, I'll get P2 also in mm. No problem. So once you get the pressure in mm, just go through the options. If options are given, go through the options. If the answer is given in mm, write it in mm. If the answer is given in atmospheres, you know how to convert mm into atmospheres also. Right? So in that way, based on options, you need to check. While solving, you can solve by using any units. But see that these two pressures, these two volumes must be in the same units. That is the only point, students. You need to be careful. Okay? Right. So use the formula P1 V1 by T1 is equal to P2 V2 by T. So P1 is 760 mm, V1 is 600, by T1 is 298. P2 I need to calculate. V2 is 640, by T2 is 283. So from this, I need to calculate the value of P2, which will be equal to 760 into 600 into 283, right, by 640 into 298. So this if you solve, you will get the value of P2, students. Right? Yes, 676.63. This will be the answer. Tell me, students, what will be the value in ATM? Suppose if the options are in ATM, what will be your answer? How will you convert mm into ATM? 0.89 ATM. Yes. In torque, if they give in torque, what will be the value in torque? What will be the value in torque? In torques. Same, no? Same. If they ask pressure in ATM, students, if the option is in ATM, If the option is in ATM, then what you will do? Divide this way. 760. Correct. Divide this with 760. Right. So how much you will get? 0.89 ATM. 0.89 ATM. This will be the answer in TOS, in ATM, if they ask. Now if they ask in TOS, so we know that 1 ATM is equal to 760 mm, which is equal to 760 torr. Correct. From this you can tell that 1 mm is nothing but equal to 1 torr. 1 mm is equal to 1 torr. From this we can tell that 1 mm will be equal to 1 torr. So 676.63 mm will be equal to same number of torrs only. So in torrs this will be 676.63 torrs. 676.63 torrs. So torr and mm will be of the same units. Okay. Completed. Right. Next question. Next question. 35 ml of oxygen gas. 35 ml of oxygen gas was collected at 6 degrees centigrade and 758 mm pressure. 768 mm pressure. Calculate its volume at STP. Calculate its volume at STP. See whether they give STP or they give NTP students. STP or NTP, both are the same. Okay, we will consider both to be the same. STP or NTP, we will consider both to be the same. Right? STP is standard temperature and pressure. NTP is normal temperature and pressure. This is normal temperature and pressure. We will consider both to be the same students in our syllabus. Right? So NTP is normal. This is standard. Both are considered to be same in our syllabus. Right? .2 ml. Any other answers? .15. 36.6. 40.029. Different answers I am getting. 43.2. 34.15. Okay, let us see whether which answer is correct. First, volume is 35 ml when the temperature is 6 degrees and pressure is 758 ml. Right, correct. So let the pressure P1 be 758 ml. 758 ml. Right. Then volume is 35 ml. Volume is 35 ml. Temperature is 6 degrees centigrade plus 273. That is 279 Kelvin. Temperature T1 is 279 Kelvin. Right. Now the other conditions are STP conditions. You know the STP conditions. At standard pressure is 1 atm, but this is taken in mm. This also must be in mm. We know that 1 atm is 760 mm. 1 atm is 760 mm. Right. Then volume we need to calculate. Temperature. We know that standard temperature is 273 Kelvin. Standard temperature is 273 Kelvin. Right. Whether you STP or NTP, same conditions you need to take, students. Right. Now substitute the values in this form. T1 V1 by T1 is equal to T2 V2 by T2. Then you can calculate the value of it. 34.15. Yes, 34.157. The answer will be 34.17. It is mercury only. If they don't mention anything, we'll take it for mercury only. Okay, students, if I write mm, that indicates it is mercury only. No need to write mercury every time. I have written no. STP. STP means what? Standard temperature and pressure. Pressure is 1 atm, temperature is 273. P2 only, no? 1 atm no, it is. Because it is STP condition. At STP pressure is 1 atm, temperature will be 273. Complete, students, any doubt in this? So one more last question we will solve based on this. What is the question? Volume of a gas at 127 degrees centigrade and 570 mm of mercury pressure is 20 liters. Calculate volume of same amount of gas. Volume of same amount of gas at 227 degrees centigrade and 1140 torr. Careful, students. Right? This was asked in JEE once. This was a JEE question. One more is there, that also will be. Right? Second temperature is 227. 227 students. 227. 227. $12.5. Any other answer? 12.5. 12.5. ml units liters or ml liters 12.5 liters students, right? Very good. See here, the initial temperature is 127 degrees centigrade plus 273, so that is nothing but 400 Kelvin, 400 Kelvin, right? So P1 pressure was 570 mm, 570 mm, and volume V1 is 20 liters. Volume V1 is 20 liters, right? Now we need to calculate the volume when the temperature is 227. 227 plus 273 is 500 Kelvin. 500 Kelvin. P2 is 1140 torr. See here, this is given in mm, this is given in torr. So we know that mm and torr will be of the same units. Mm and torr both are of the same units, right? Equal. So I can take this as directly mm. 1140 torr is nothing but 1140 mm. Okay, students. Right. Next, V2 I need to calculate. Substitute in the formula. P1 V1 by T1 is equal to P2 V2 by T2. Okay, so P1 is 570, V1 is 20, T1 is 400, will be equal to P2 is 1140 into V2 I need to calculate, T2 is 500. So 571 572 is equals. So 2 ones 2 tens. So the value of V2 will be 5000 by 400. 5000 by 400. So this will be equal to 12.5 liters. So in this way, when questions comes in the exam, so calculation will be very easy. You don't worry about calculations. Okay. So this was the question which was asked in JEE. So there is one more question. That also I give. Completed. Next question is 12 grams of a gas in bracket molar mass is 120, exerts a pressure of 1 atm at T degrees centigrade. 1 atm at T degrees centigrade. When temperature increases, by 10 degrees centigrade, pressure increases by 10%. Pressure increases by 10%. Calculate value of V and T. So whenever I have small t, it will be in degree centigrade. So I want the value of temperature in degree centigrade and volume. Right? So two parameters are there you need to calculate. Think and solve, students. Let me see how many of you will answer. Temperature minus 173, very good. Volume 821. Once again check. Minus 173 degrees centigrade. Very good. Minus 173. What will be the value of V? What will be the volume, students? V. $800 units. 800 liters. Huh? No. Okay. See here, friends. See here. So write down the information given. What is given? 12 grams of a gas. Molar mass of the gas is also given. Right. It is exerting a pressure of 1 atm at T degrees centigrade. So pressure P1 is 1 atm. Temperature T degrees centigrade. I need to convert it into Kelvin. So it becomes T plus 273. T plus 273. Right. Next. When temperature increases by 10 degrees centigrade, pressure increases by 10 degrees centigrade, 10%. So what is happening? Pressure is increasing by 10 degrees centigrade. That is what will be the, pressure is increasing by 10%. So what is 10% of 1? 10% of 1 is 0.1. So the new pressure will be 1 plus 0.1. That is 1.1 atm. Correct. That means pressure is increasing by 10%. So 10% of 1 is 0.1. So the new pressure will be 1 plus 0.1, which is 1.1 atm. Okay. And the new temperature T2, it is increasing by 10 degrees centigrade. So it becomes T plus 283. Now we know the relation between pressure and temperature. Right. So pressure and temperature are directly proportional, from which I can calculate the value of T or not. I can calculate, right, by using which law? By using which law? Which law gives the relation between pressure and temperature? Pressure and temperature. Gay-Lussac's law. Gay-Lussac's law gives the relation between pressure and temperature. So by using the relation P1 by T1 is equal to P2 by T2. I'll get this value, students. T. Okay, right? So P1 is 1. By T1 is T plus 273 is equal to P2 is 1.1. By T2 is T plus 283. T plus 283. Right? So solve this and tell me how much you will get T. You can do by using PV is equal to nRT also. Anyway, Tell me students, what will be this value? So you will get T value is minus 173 degrees centigrade. So if you solve this, you will get the value of T is minus 173 degrees centigrade. Got the answer till here, everyone? Any doubt, students? Everyone got it till here? Any doubt? Right. Next, let us see how to calculate volume. How to calculate volume. So in order to calculate volume, by using PV is equal to nRT, right? Either you use the first condition or you use the second condition. Anyway, it is the same. So if I use the first condition, pressure is 1 atm. Into volume, I need to calculate. What is the number of moles? Given mass is 12. Molar mass is 120. Number of moles will be 12 by 120, 0.1. Into R value 0.0821. Pressure is given in atm. By using 0.0821, volume I will get in liters. What is temperature, students? I know that T is minus 173. What will be the value in Kelvin? What will be the value in Kelvin? 100. Very good. It will be 100. Simplify, you will get the value of T. So 12 by 120 is 1 by 10. Right? So this 0 gets cancelled out. So the value of V will be 0.821 liters. So volume will be 0.821 liters. See, only one thing. You know that you need to use ideal gas equation, definitely. But in the given information in the question, there are two unknown terms. One is V, other one is T. There are two unknown terms. One is V, other one is T. I can calculate T by using this information. I can calculate T by using this information. So once you calculate T, substitute here, you will get the value of V. Okay. So this was also a JEE question, right? So not difficult, students. Only thing is you need to practice. Okay. Okay, students, right? So here you got the answer in degree centigrade. Convert it into Kelvins. Minus 173 degree centigrade is nothing but 100 Kelvin, right? Okay. So these are the different types of questions you will get based on ideal gas equation and equation of state. P1 V1 by T1 is equal to P2 V2 by T2. Okay. So coming to one more equation, students, right? Ideal gas equation. Ideal gas equation in terms of density. Ideal gas equation in terms of density. So we have ideal gas equation in terms of density also, students. So we'll derive it. Right? So we know that ideal gas equation is PV is equal to nRT. Ideal gas equation is PV is equal to nRT. So number of moles is mass by molar mass. So instead of number of moles, I'll write as W by M, where W is the mass of the gas, M is the molar mass of the gas into R. I'll send this V this side. Then you get P is equal to W by V into RT by M. So I'm sending this V this side. It becomes W by V into RT by M. We know that mass by volume is nothing but density. We know that density is mass by volume. So instead of mass by volume, I'll write density. Right? So P is equal to dRT by M. So in terms of density D, will be equal to Pm by R. So this is ideal gas equation in terms of density, students, right? So D is density, P is pressure, M is molar mass, R is universal gas constant, T is temperature in Kelvin, right? Absolute temperature. Okay. And see here, listen 1 minute. M is molar mass of the gas, which is a constant value. For a given gas, molar mass will be constant. R value is also a constant. So by removing these two constants, I get proportionality, where D is directly proportional to P and inversely proportional to T. Density is directly proportional to T and inversely proportional to T. That means whenever you solve the problems where two densities, two pressures and two temperatures are given, so you can use the formula D1 by D2 is equal to P1 by P2 into T2 by T1. Where two densities, two pressures and two temperatures are given, D1 by D2 is equal to, D is directly proportional to P, so P1 by P2. Inversely proportional to T, so T2 by T. Okay, so this formula you can use. Okay, students, right. What I need to do? This one. Everything is here only, no? Instead of number of moles, I have written mass by molar mass. Send this V this side. You will get mass by volume. Mass by volume is nothing but density. Instead of W by V, I have written D. So in terms of D, this will be, send this M this side, RT this side. It becomes Pm by RT. So this is a constant, this is also a constant. So D is proportional to P by D. D is proportional to P by D. So D is directly proportional to P. So D1 by dt is equal to P1 by P2. Inversely proportional to T. So into T2 by 2. Completed? So we'll solve one or two problems based on this one. The question is, calculate the density of SO2 gas at 273 Kelvin and 2 atm pressure. At 27 degrees centigrade. Calculate the density of SO2 gas at 27 degrees centigrade at 2 atm pressure. (16 by 30). Any other answers? (16 by 30). Yes, given information. Density you need to calculate. Like temperature is 27 degrees centigrade plus 273. So that is 300 Kelvin. So P is given as 2 atm pressure. So you know the gas is sulfur dioxide. So what will be the molar mass of sulfur dioxide, students? Molar mass of sulfur dioxide. Molar mass of sulfur dioxide. 64, huh? Molar mass of sulfur dioxide. Yes, 64. Sulfur 32 plus this is 32, 64. 64 gram per mole. Always the unit of molar mass is gram per mole. Right? That is the molar mass of sulfur dioxide gas. So by using the formula D is equal to Pm by RT. So pressure is 2 atm. Molar mass is 64 by R value what you will use? As the pressure is given in atm, the value of R must be 0.0821. 0.0821 into temperature is 300. Temperature is 300. So simplify this. What answer you will get? 5.1969. You will get this answer. Huh? Yes. So density will be 5.1969. What will be the unit, students? Units. Density is mass by volume, no? So mass is in grams. By, as you have taken the value of R is 0.0821, the volume must be in liters. So density you will get is 5.1969 gram per liter. 5.1969 gram per liter. Got the answer? Completed? Right. Next question. Next question. The density of a gas is found to be density of a gas is found to be 1.56 gram per liter at 745 mm pressure and 65 degrees centigrade. Calculate molar mass of the gas. 44.17 gram per mole. 44.17. 44.08. Yes. So simple. Density is given 1.56 gram per liter. Pressure is given 745 mm. I need to convert it into ATM because I need to use the value of R as 0.081. So in ATM, 745 by 760 ATM. This will be the pressure, right? Temperature is 65 degrees centigrade. 65 degrees centigrade plus 273. So how much you get? 338. Temperature will be 338 Kelvin. Molar mass of the gas unity Kelvin. So use D is equal to Pm by RT. So as you need to calculate molar mass, M value will be equal to dRT by P. So substitute the values and simplify students. Okay. So how much you need to get is 44.17 something you will get, right? 44.17 gram per mole. Yes, 44.17. Okay. Well, students, one more last problem based on density. The question is, density of a gas, the density of a gas is 3.80 gram per liter at SCP. Calculate its density. Calculate its density at 27 degrees centigrade and 700 torque pressure. Last problem. Because R value I am taking it as 0.0821, you need to convert it into again. R value is 0.0821 liter atmospheres. No? Yeah, one density I have given, you need to calculate other density. One density is at STP conditions. Other density at these conditions. .185 gram per liter. Any other answers? 3.39, 3.84, 3.185, 3.18. Okay, see here students. One density is given as 3.8 gram per liter at STP conditions. So D1 is 3.8 gram per liter. STP conditions means what must be the temperature and what must be the pressure? Temperature is 273 Kelvin and the pressure must be 1 atm. And the pressure must be 1 atm, correct? Then they are asking to calculate the density when the temperature is 27 degrees centigrade. That means T2 value will be 27 plus 273, which is 300 Kelvin. So second temperature is 300 Kelvin and pressure is 700 torr. See your students, this you have taken in atm, take this also in atm, or this if you want to take in torr, convert this also into torr. Anyhow you can do. Okay, right? So this is given in torrs. It is 700 torrs. 700 torrs. So either you convert this into torr or convert this into atm. Both must be in the same units. So let us convert this into atm. Right? So this how will you convert into atm? So 1 atm is 760 torrs, right? So divide it with 760. You will get atm. Divide it with 760, you will get atm. Okay, students, right? So both the pressures must be in the same units always. Okay, so 0.92 atm. So the information, what complicated? Okay, so the relation is given between density, pressure and temperature. So we know that D is directly proportional to P, inversely proportional to T. D is directly proportional to P and inversely proportional to T. Anyway you can do, convert this into torr or this into AD, anyway. So D1 by D2 is equal to P1 by P2 into T2 by T1. So all the values you are having here, substitute and you will get the value of D2. So the correct answer is 3.185 students. 3.185. So if you substitute and calculate, you will get 3.185 gram per liter. 3.185 gram per liter. Completed? Okay. That depends upon the options. To any decimal place, like 1 or 2. Right. Okay. Next, coming to the next conception. This is about the gas laws. So 3 gas laws basically we are having, and the 4th one we discussed, that is Avogadro's law. Combining all these gas laws, we have given one equation called as ideal gas equation. Ideal gas equation, right? So ideal gas equation is PV is equal to nRT. So from that, at different conditions of pressure, volume and temperature, P1 V1 by T1 is equal to P2 V2 by T2, and ideal gas equation in terms of density is D is equal to Pm by RT. So D is directly proportional to P, inversely proportional to T. So at different conditions of pressure, temperature and density, D1 by D2 is equal to P1 by P2 into T2 by T1. Okay. So this is all about the one part of states of it. Then there are 2 more laws, students. Right. So let us see those laws. One is called as Dalton's law of partial pressures. Next concept is Dalton's law of partial pressures. Next one is Dalton's law of partial pressures. So first I will give you the definition, then I will explain. So what is Dalton's law of partial pressures? Is the total pressure exerted by a mixture of non-reacting gases. Total pressure exerted by a mixture of non-reacting gases is the sum of partial pressures of individual gases. In a container of volume V at temperature T. Is known as Dalton's law. The total pressure exerted by a mixture of non-reacting gases is the sum of partial pressures of individual gases in a container of volume V at temperature T. Okay. Now see here. So let us understand what is the definition. So I am having a container. Right? So the volume of the container is V and the temperature of the container is taken at a temperature T. The volume of this is V. It is taken at certain temperature T. Now in this container, I am having gases, and the condition here is the gases what you are taking, students, they must be non-reacting. So this is important condition. So to apply Dalton's law, always the gases must be non-reacting, students. Dalton's law is not applicable for reacting gases. So sometimes in the exam they ask, for which of the following gases Dalton's law is not applied? So they will give some gases. So you need to know which gases will be reacting, which gases will not be reacting. Then how to identify whether they are reacting or non-reacting is in your complete 2-year syllabus, first PU as well as second PU, you will be getting some reaction, students, right? So you need to know the reactions. Only if you know the reactions, you can answer such questions. Okay. And whenever I tell reacting, they must be reacting at normal conditions, at room temperature conditions, not at extreme conditions or at very low conditions. Like, can I apply Dalton's law for hydrogen plus oxygen, students? Tell me, can I apply Dalton's law for reaction of hydrogen plus oxygen? I can apply. Hydrogen and oxygen will not react at ordinary conditions. Simple logic, students. Think logically. What happens if hydrogen and oxygen are reacting? Complete universe must be filled with water, no? Correct. In the atmosphere, if hydrogen and oxygen reacts, so hydrogen and oxygen react, and you need to get water. So in that way, complete atmosphere must be filled with water, no? Correct or wrong? Following? Right? So hydrogen and oxygen will not react at ordinary conditions. So I can apply Dalton's law. So that's why I'm telling the mixture of gases, whatever you are taking, they must be non-reacting at ordinary conditions or normal conditions. In the same way, can I apply Dalton? This reaction you must be knowing from your school also. Can I apply Dalton's law for the reaction of hydrogen and chlorine, students? H2 plus Cl2. Under ordinary conditions, will the reaction take place? H2 plus Cl2. No, students, the reaction will not take place. Compulsorily, there must be sunlight for that. Compulsorily, there must be light for the diffused light. Okay, so that also will not take place under ordinary conditions. So I can apply Dalton's law for that. Now tell me, can I apply Dalton's law for ammonia gas and HCl gas? Ammonia gas and HCl gas. Ammonia gas and HCl. Can I apply? I can't apply. So this also you must be knowing. Ammonia and HCl will react at ordinary conditions to form ammonium chloride, which will be white dense fumes. Correct? So in your school, if there is laboratory, you must have done this also in the school. Right? So from one end of the tube pass ammonia, from other end you pass HCl. In the middle you can see ammonium chloride will be formed. Right? So this will be reactive at ordinary conditions. So you cannot apply Dalton's law here. So in that way, you need to know, students. So all these reactions will be studying in our syllabus. Right? So only in that way you can answer this question. If a question comes in the exam. Okay. But remember the condition, they must be non-reactive. Okay. So I'm having a container here. So volume V and temperature T. Now I'm having some gases. Right. So I'm passing 3 gases. Then all the 3 gases will exert pressure. All the 3 gases will exert pressure. Let the pressure exerted by first gas be P1. The pressure exerted by the first gas be P1. The pressure exerted by the second gas be P2. The pressure exerted by the third gas be P3. Right. Then what will be the total pressure of all these gases? Total pressure of all these gases will be equal to sum of the pressures exhibited by each gas. And the pressure exhibited by each gas is called as partial pressure. The pressure exerted by individual gas is called as partial pressure. So the partial pressure of first gas is P1, partial pressure of second gas is P2, partial pressure of the third gas is P3. So what will be the total pressure? Total pressure will be equal to sum of all the 3 gases P1 plus P2 plus P3. Suppose if there are many number of gases, it goes on so on. So this is called as Dalton's law. Got it, students? So this is called as Dalton's law. First, what do you mean by partial pressure? Partial pressure means pressure exerted by individual gas. Partial pressure is pressure exerted by individual gas. So the partial pressure of first gas is P1, partial pressure of second gas is P2, partial pressure of third gas is P3. So total pressure of all the gases will be equal to sum of the partial pressures. Okay. Right. Got this definition, students? Any doubt in this? Yes, only when the gases are not reacting. This is applicable only when these 3 gases are not reacting. Right. So below you can write P1, P2 and P3 partial pressures of gases 1, 2 and 3. Partial pressures of gases 1, 2. Partial pressure means pressure exerted by individual gas. Partial pressure means pressure exerted by individual gas. Complete, friends? All right. Okay, let us derive an equation, students, here. That is relation between partial pressure, total pressure, and mole fraction. Let us derive the relation between partial pressure, total pressure, and mole fraction of a gas. Right? Listen here. Let us derive. Again, this derivation is important for board exam students. They will ask this derivation for 3 marks. Okay. This derivation is important for 3 marks. See here. So I am having a container, students. I am having a container. Let the volume of the container be V and the temperature at which it is kept is capital T. Now I am passing 2 gases into this. One is gas 1, other one is gas 2. First gas is G1, other gas is G2. Let the number of moles of first gas be N1 and the number of moles of second gas be N2. Okay, right? Now the distance for gas 1, if I apply ideal gas equation, then the pressure exerted by the first gas, let it be P1. Volume will be the same for both the gases because they are taken in the same container. P1 into V is equal to number of moles of the first gas is N1. R is a constant which will be the same for both the gases, and both are taken at the same temperature T. Right. So let this be equation 1. Then for gas 2, the pressure exerted by the second gas will be P2. And see here, P1 and P2 are partial pressures. P1 is the partial pressure of gas 1, P2 is the partial pressure of gas 2. Right? Into volume of the container is V, number of moles of the second gas will be N2, R is a constant which will be same, and temperature is also the same because it is taken in the same container at the same temperature. This is equation number 2. Now, what will be the total pressure, students? Now, total pressure. Let the total pressure be PT. I am writing the total pressure is PT, right, for both the gases. Volume is V is equal to, right? So, what will be the total number of moles? So, in this total container, number of moles will be N1 plus N2, into R into T. Correct? For the complete container, in the complete container, the total pressure, let it be PT, into volume V is the same, which is equal to, there are 2 gases, so number of moles will be N1 plus N2 into R into T. Let this be equation 3. Now, 3 divided by 1. If you divide 3 with 1, what you will get, students? So third equation is PT into V is equal to N1 plus N2 into RT by first equation. P1 into V is equal to N1 into RT. See here, V gets cancelled out, RT gets cancelled out. So what you will get here? PT by P1 is equal to N1 plus N2 by N1. I will reverse this, students. First write down till here. Or wait for 1 minute. This heading you have written, no? Derivation. Heading. Right. No, see. See here. So if I divide this, I will interchange this so that you will get P1 is equal, or let me reverse this. You will get P1 by PT is equal to N1 by N1 plus N2. Right. So what is this, students? What is this N1 by N1 plus N2 called? Mole fraction. Right. Number of moles by total number of moles of all the components is nothing but mole fraction. Mole fraction of which gas? First gas. So P1 by PT is equal to X1. So from this, P1 is equal to X1 into PT. So where P1 is the partial pressure of the first gas, Pd is the total pressure and x1 will be the mole fraction. So relation between these three is partial pressure of any gas is equal to mole fraction of the gas into total pressure. Partial pressure of any gas is equal to mole fraction of the gas into total pressure. Okay, right? So right on. Next, similarly, we can derive it for gas 2 also. Right? Complete, friends. So I'm erasing this side. Now, in the same way, divide 2 with 3. So second one is P2 into V is equal to N2 into RT by 3 is PT into V is equal to N1 plus N2 into RT. 2 if I divide it with 3. So VV gets cancelled out, RT gets cancelled out. So you will get P2 by PT is equal to N2 by N1 plus N2. So again, number of moles of second gas by total number of moles will be equal to mole fraction of the second gas, right? So which is equal to H2. So from this, what will be the value of P2? P2 value will be equal to H2 into P2. So mole fraction of partial pressure of this gas will be equal to mole fraction into total pressure. So this is the derivation, students. So what is the final conclusion you can make? Final conclusion is partial pressure of any gas. Partial pressure of any gas is equal to mole fraction of the gas into total pressure. Very important. Many times throughout our syllabus, this will be continuously repeating, students, right? This form. Throughout our syllabus, first PU and second PU, this will be very useful. Many of the places will be using this. Partial pressure is equal to mole fraction into total pressure. I'll give questions, right? So this derivation is important for board exam students. Okay. Now let us solve problems based on this. This is Dalton's law. So what is the basic definition of Dalton's law? Total pressure is sum of partial pressures of non-reacting gases. That term, if it is not there, you will get 0 marks in the exam. Non-reacting gases. That is important always, right? So total pressure of a mixture of non-reacting gases is equal to the sum of partial pressures of individual gases in a container of volume V taken at a temperature T. Okay. Then relation between partial pressure, total pressure and mole fraction is partial pressure is equal to mole fraction into total pressure. Okay. Now let us solve one problem here. Let us solve one problem here. Suppose I am having a container. Right, in which I am taking 2 grams of helium, and 10 grams of neon. 2 grams of helium and 10 grams of neon are taken. The volume of the container is 10 liters. Temperature is 227 degrees centigrade. Law fails if there are reacting gases. Right? Complete law. You cannot apply it for any other gases. Right? Because if some gases are reacting and some gases are not reacting, total pressure will be changed completely. So none of the gases should be reactive. Okay. So temperature is 227 degrees centigrade. Volume is 10 liters. Now calculate partial pressures of individual gases. Partial pressures of both the gases. Partial pressures of both the gases. Solutions. How to solve? Think and solve. I explain. So when I don't mention any units for pressure, students, always you need to take this ATM. If I don't mention anything, right? So here I have not mentioned, take this ATM. Tell me the answer in ATM. Shall I explain or you will solve? If you want me to explain, I will explain. Yeah, I'll explain. Next problem you can solve. See here, students. See here. Partial pressures of both the gases they are asking. 2 ways you can solve the problem. 2 ways. Right? If I use PV is equal to nRT formula, right? So if I use the partial pressure of helium only helium gas if I use, then I take the number of moles of only helium, I get the partial pressure of helium gas. 2 ways we can solve the problem. First way I'll explain. First let me take it for helium. Like in the derivation we have done. First let me take it for helium. So partial pressure of helium into, by using ideal gas equation, volume is 10 liter will be equal to number of moles of helium. So mass is 2. What is the molar mass of helium? 4. Helium molar mass is 4, right? So 2 by 4 into R value is 0.081. Temperature is 227 degrees centigrade. That means 500 Kelvin. 500 Kelvin into 500. So if I solve this, students, I will get partial pressure of helium directly. Right? This is one way. In the same way, I can calculate partial pressure of neon also. What will be the partial pressure of neon? Partial pressure of neon into volume is 10 liters is equal to, right? Mass of neon is 10 by, what is the molar mass of neon? Molar mass of neon 20. Molar mass of neon is 20 into R value is 0.081, temperature is 500. So if you solve this, you will get the partial pressure of neon. This is direct by using ideal gas equation. Nothing to do with that also here, right? Tell me, students, what will be the partial pressure of helium? What will be the partial pressure of neon? Same will be. How much will be? 2.05, huh? Yes. So this will be 2.05 ATM. This also will be 2.05 ATM. Right. So this is 2.05 ATM. This also will be 2.05 ATM. This is one way. Right. Now in the question, calculate partial pressure of both the gases and total pressure is gas and total pressure. extend the question. Calculate partial pressures of both the gases and total pressure. What will be the total pressure, students? Total pressure is sum of partial pressures of both the gases. That is partial pressure of helium plus partial pressure of neon. Okay, according to Dalton's law. So partial pressure of helium is 2.05. This is also 2.05. So it will be 4.18. This is one way to solve the problem. Right? This is the first method. First method. I will solve the other method also. That is by using relation between partial and total pressures. Complete, friends? Till here any doubt? Till here any doubt? So in this what I did? First I calculated partial pressure, then I added partial pressure to get down total pressure. Now I do it in the reverse way. First I calculate total pressure, from that I will calculate partial pressures. Okay. I am erasing this one. Now first I will calculate total pressure. So how will you calculate total pressure? Total pressure into V. P. Total pressure into V is equal to number of moles of helium plus number of moles of neon into RU. When I take total pressure, I am calculating the total pressure in the container. So in the container you have both the gases. So you need to take the sum of moles of both the gases. Right? So PT into volume V is 10 liters, which is equal to number of moles of helium will be 2/4 plus number of moles of neon will be 10/20 into R value is 0.0821 into temperature is 500. Correct? First I am calculating total pressure. So how much you will get, students? Same value you will get. Same value. 4.0180. Check. Sorry, 4.1. 4.1. Once you can check. 4.105, roughly 4.1. Okay. Correct. Okay. Now, I want to calculate partial pressures. Now, logically, if you think the number of moles of helium is half, as well as number of moles of neon is also half, as the number of moles of these two are equal, then the pressures also must be equal. Right? So this must be 2.05, this also must be 2.05. If you think logically, right? Otherwise, if you want to solve this, right? So by using that relation, partial pressure is equal to total pressure into mole fraction. First, I need to calculate mole fraction of helium. What will be the mole fraction of helium? Number of moles of neon, number of moles of helium by number of moles of helium plus number of moles of neon. Number of moles of helium is 0.5. Number of moles of helium is 0.5. This is also 0.5. So mole fraction of helium is 0.5. Okay. In the same way, mole fraction of neon will be number of moles of neon by number of moles of neon plus number of moles of helium. This is also the same, students. 0.5 plus 0.5, which is 0.5. This is the mole fraction of helium and mole fraction of neon. Now, if I want the partial pressure of helium, how will you calculate? Partial pressure of helium is mole fraction of helium into total pressure. What is the mole fraction of helium? 0.5. What is the total pressure? 4.1. So this value will be 2.05. In the same way for other also it will be 2.0. Clear? In this way also you can solve. Two ways to solve. One is directly calculating partial pressures of both gases separately, adding both. Or calculate the total pressure first and then use this relation. partial pressure is equal to mole fraction into total pressure. Anyway, you can solve. Okay, next class we will solve many problems, right? So you have books now, you can solve the problems. Start solving problems, right? Tomorrow we'll continue, students. Okay, so here we will stop. Thank you.